using your credit card for daily expenses. Welcome to Just World YouTube channel, where we live, learn, adventure, and charity. We talk about finance, personal development, travel, and community service. If you're interested in this kind of content, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. We upload on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. and sometimes on Fridays at 1 p.m. East Africa time. Hello good people, hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're going to talk about credit card. What is a credit card? A credit card is a type of payment card in which charges are made against a line of credit instead of the account holders having to use their cash deposits. In today's video, we're going to talk about the mistakes you need to avoid when you have or you utilize a credit card. The first question is, how many of you have credit cards, and does it help supplement you or it adds onto your problems? Comment down below. On to the mistakes. The first mistake is not treating a credit card like cash. If you utilize your credit card within the month and you pay within the month, in most instances, no interest will accrue. But if you find yourself extending the payment to another payment cycle, that means now you're not utilizing the card effectively. I wouldn't say you're not utilizing it in the right way, because obviously you have your plans and you know how well you'll be able to pay even if you flow up to 2 and 3 cycles. But if you're not able to determine that you would be able to pay after a longer period, it is always advisable to pay as soon as possible within the month. That way you'll save yourself interest. Remember, the moment it goes to the next month, then it means you have to pay some interest. So to avoid this interest, just ensure you pay within the month. The next mistake is using your credit card for dailies. This can be taken in two aspects. One, you can use your credit card for accountability, not because that you don't have the funds to meet your daily expenses, but to be able to account for your expenses. That way, you're on the right track. On the flip side, you'll find that you're buying your basic items using a credit card. That is the time you realize you're now living beyond your means, because that clearly spells that you are not able to meet your expenses. But then again, like we said, if you're able to pay within the month and not accrue excess credit, then you're still within. The other mistake is using your credit card for medical bills. I know people would want to fight this, because when you have an emergency and you have a form of way that you can be able to make payment, then you can definitely or quickly get to use the card to pay for your medical expenses. But on the flip side, if you find yourself in a situation of a medical expense which is high, there is that reasonable amount that you can pay at the end of the month. But if it is substantial, it is not advised that you make the payment using your credit card. This is why the credit card accrues a lot of interest, higher than the normal loan facilities interest. But if you get into some sort of an arrangement with the hospital as to how you can pay for the bill, then the bill will not accrue interest. So some hospitals may be difficult. Maybe you are not able to get into some sort of a payment plan. Maybe at that point you can consider now taking the drastic decision of using a credit card. But if the hospital is in a position to discharge you and get to an agreement and as to how you will make your payment, That will be the safer way as compared to using the credit card. The next mistake is not reviewing your statement. I think this applies both to your debit or credit card. Every month, most banks will send you a statement, and it is important to just check through your expenditure. One, maybe someone could have misused your credit card for their purchases. You never know. If someone comes across your credentials, then they would be able to do a transaction. So you need to check out on that. The next thing is you need to see how you're spending your credit card and whether it is achieving the purpose as to why you took the card in the first place, or how you're tracking your expenditure, which is very important, as you'll get to know whether you are actually on the right track or at some point you're diverting. The next mistake is not understanding the charges. Every credit facility comes with conditions and the charges that are there, and sometimes people talk of hidden charges that you may not be paying attention to. So you need to know first how this card is charged. Is there an annual fee? Is there a monthly fee? Is there an extra fee? Is there all those details? Is there a renewal fee and all that, so that you know whether it is actually worth taking it in the first place? Because maybe you just need to manage your expenses using your debit card. If it is for purposes of managing your expenses, instead of increasing some other charges that will be on the credit card in the name of tracking your expenses. Credit card is also paid either on a monthly basis or you split it over a period of time. You need to know what interest rate is applicable for your card, and in most cases credit cards interest rates are usually higher than the normal loan facilities. The next mistake is late payments. As I have said earlier, credit cards attract higher interest rates unlike the normal loan facilities. So whenever you have a late payment, first it will attract the normal interest rate, and it will also have a penal interest rate. So it is going to be a major hit on your income, which perhaps you're not in a position to accommodate at that point, and that is where you actually made a late payment. So it is important to avoid late payments as much as possible. The next mistake is ignoring your debt. Remember, this credit card is also a debt. So as you incorporate it into your other debts, you need to ensure that you are able to meet your monthly expenses and be able to pay your monthly debt repayment portion without a strain. Because if you already have a huge debt and you want to add a credit card, that will worsen your situation, not forgetting the high interest rates that is charged on credit cards. The next mistake is making minimum payments. As a card holder, you can be able to make partial payments instead of making a lump sum at the end of the month. So this is the catch. If you make a lump sum at the end of the month, then you save on interest. But if you decide to make minimum payments, it means the portion that you have not paid will continue to accrue interest. So like I said, if you're using the credit card for purposes of your normal activities, it is advisable to try as much as possible to pay within the month. But if maybe your income is on a quarterly basis, then you may be in a position to flow to allow it to go to the next month. Otherwise, as much as possible, it is just important to pay within the month. The next mistake is missing a payment. Like I said, credit cards have high interest rates, and therefore any delay will accrue the normal rate, and also you will pay some default interest rate. So which means the debt you had as at the time when the payment was due maybe will go up, maybe even by 20-30%, depending on the rate that the card is charged. So it is going to really hurt your budget, and it can actually now increase your debt. The next mistake is chasing credit card rewards. Every other day you will either see a flyer or you hear somewhere that if you use your credit card for purchases of not basic items but other items, that you may end up getting a discount or something. For instance, you may be told a flight from point A to point B. If you use your credit card to book, you get a saving of maybe 10%. Who doesn't want to save? We all do. But is it actually a saving? Especially if it is something that you had actually not planned for, but the only reason you're doing it is because you have had there's an offer. Comment down below if you are a victim of chasing rewards. Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below if you are a victim of any of the things that we have listed, and how you manage to overcome the mistake, or if you're already in that mistake and what are you doing about it. If you're new to the channel, kindly subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. To my Premier Gang, you guys are the real deal. May God bless you for me. Thank you so much for your support. Kindly let us know the kind of content you want us to share on this channel. We really value your feedback, and most of these videos are your requests, so keep the requests coming. We really appreciate, because that tells us that you're watching. See you on our next one. Bye.